lesson on the curvature tool and other tools, make sure you reset the preferences and you start at Illustrator. Choose File Open or click Open here. Open up the L6 End file in the Lesson 6 folder. Choose View, Fit All in Window. And this is the final. This is what we're going to get to. So we're going to open up this Start file now. So choose File Open. L6 Start in the Lesson 6 folder. Open that up. Now, choose File, Save As. We'll save it. We're not going to save it to the cloud. Save it on your computer if you want. And save it as Outdoor Logos. Make sure Illustrator is chosen for the format or save as type on Windows. Click Save. Click OK here. Now, to reset the workspace, choose Window Workspace and make sure that Essentials is chosen, and then reset Essentials so we can see the Properties panel on the right, and we should be ready to go. The Curvature tool is one of my favorite tools, and we're going to start by drawing paths with it. So choose Logo 1 down here, and with the Selection tool, click the edge of the circle here, and we're going to lock it. So choose Object, Lock, Selection. That way we don't accidentally do anything with it. Okay, select the Curvature tool over there in the toolbar. And normally what we do before we draw is we set things like fill and stroke. Make sure that the fill is none. The stroke is a dark gray swatch, and I can see it there. And the stroke weight is 4 point. Now, we cheated. We selected that circle, so it picked up the formatting from that, and that's what we're going to draw with. Okay, on the left edge of the circle, click and release to start. You can see like right over here, maybe like right there. Move the pointer out, click somewhere like right here. Move around, you can see with the pointer it's creating this curve. That's the Curvature tool. Move the pointer to the right, click and release right about here-ish. Move around, you can see it happening. Click and release to the right, right about here. And then come back to the path and click here. It doesn't have to match the book perfectly, you'll see it's a little off, that's fine. Alright, to stop drawing and lock the path so we don't accidentally do anything with it, choose Object, Lock, Selection. The horizon is created. You can see this is kind of the horizon. Now we're going to draw a little river path here. Move the pointer over the horizon path and click and release to start a new path. Move the pointer down and to the left, like right about here. Click, release, and move. And we're going to keep drawing here. So click right about here. come right over here and click here, right about here, back on the circle and click, and you've got the first half of the river. Now to stop drawing, press the escape key and move the cursor. You can see, there we go. Choose select, deselect, and we're going to draw the second half now. Move the pointer over here and make sure you don't click on the original path. See that? Come to the right just a bit and click. And now we're going to do the same thing. Move the pointer down and click to set a new point. Come down here, click to set a point. Here, back on the path, click to set a point, and you've got yourself a bit of a river. To stop drawing, press the escape key. After you draw paths with the curvature and it's still drawing, I'm going to press escape again. Sometimes you want to edit it. That's what we'll do. Click the first river path you drew on the left here. Go ahead and click on it. And you should see the points out here now. See all the points? What you can do is you can come over a point like this one and drag it to kind of redraw, to move. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Try dragging the other points so you can kind of move them around and reshape things a little bit and see what it comes up with. Okay, now choose Object, Unlock All, so you can get at the other paths as well. Click the horizon path to select it and to see the points on it. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I'm going to go to Edit, Undo. There we go. You can now see it. Move the pointer over the path just to the right of the first anchor, like right here. Click to add a point. And what we want to do now is drag that point down a little bit to kind of reshape things. You can see what it's doing. It's kind of flexing or curving around that point right there. Now you'll remove a point just to the right. So come up to this point, click on it, and press backspace or delete. Now, to lock the path again so you don't accidentally draw it or do anything to it, choose Object, Lock, Selection. So far, you've only really created curves with this thing, but you can also create corners with it. Let's do that to make the mountains. Move the pointer over the left side of the horizon path, like right about here, and click. Move the pointer up and to the right, right about here. Click and let go, and move your pointer away, and you can see what it's doing. It's flexing around that point. Now, to make the mountain a peak right here, we want that to be a corner. So come back to that point and double-click on it, and it converts it to a corner point. Keep drawing by coming down here and clicking and then moving up and clicking again. Come back here and double click to make that a corner, and the same thing here. Double click to make that a corner. Now we're going to make a corner automatically. So press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows and click to make another corner right there. And do the same thing a couple more times. Corner. And you can see the line on there. Corner. And there you go. Release the mouse and then the key. You can freely adjust these now. Just drag them around. Do what you want. I'm going to make it kind of look like the book if I can. Something like that. There we go. Not too bad. Alright, press the Escape key to stop drawing. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. A favorite type of line is a dashed line for me. We're going to do that right here. So select the selection tool and click the line to the left of the circle right there. In the Properties panel, to make a dashed line, click the word Stroke to open up the Stroke panel. And we're going to change a bunch of things. Make sure that the stroke weight is 3. Dashed line is selected. You can see it happen out there. What it does is it repeats. It says, let's make a 12-point dash, 12-point gap, repeat. Okay? We can control that though. Make sure that Preserve Exact Dashes and Gaps Lengths is selected. That way you see them. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Make the first dash 35, not 25, 35. Click in the gap. You're going to see if you just have one value, it just repeats it. 35 dash, 35 gap, repeat the whole thing. We're going to make the gap 4. I said 3. 4. Next one is 5 for a dash, and then gap is 4. And if you click in the next field, you're going to see what it does. 35 point dash, 4 gap, 5 dash, 4 gap, repeat. 35 until the end of the line. After you add the last value, like if I were to type in 4 here, you can press enter return. It's not going to work in this case. If it doesn't work, press the escape key and it should do it for you. There we go. So you can see it's still set. Now you're going to make some copies of this, okay? So with it selected, select the rotate tool over here in the toolbar. We're going to rotate it and copy it at the same time. Come to the center of the circle, and it should say center. Press Option on Mac or Alt on Windows. Click. Open the rotate dialog. Now in here, what we can do is we can turn on preview, make sure it's there. We can make copies. Set the angle to -15 because that's what we want. And if you toggle preview, you'll see it happen. Click copy. Now to do it again, choose Object Transform. Transform again. This is a great command. It just means just do that same thing again. We need to make 10 more copies, so we're going to use the keyboard command Command D or Control D on Windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is exactly the Transform Again command. Command D or Control D on Windows. That's it. All right, now to finish the artwork, you're going to cut off part of this, move the camp up, and you're done. So select the rectangle tool here, and what I want you to do is draw a rectangle that covers the bottom part down here, something like that. Now I know it's going to be dashed around the outside. Don't worry about it. Select the selection tool and drag across, touching only the rectangle in the circle, like that. Select the Shape Builder tool. Press the Option key so we can remove stuff, and then drag through. Release the mouse button, and then the key, and you've got the bottom part deleted. Select the Selection tool and drag the camp logo up, something like that. It needs to be in front, so click the Arrange button and choose Bring to Front, and you've got yourself a logo. Choose Select Deselect, and save your file. Another tool I use a lot to create freeform paths is the pencil tool. It sounds like exactly what it is. It's like using a pencil. Choose 2 pencil down here. Oops, wrong one. 2 pencil. And we're going to draw a couple shapes here with it. Select the pencil tool over here in the toolbar. And it's in the paintbrush group. There we go. And then double click on the pencil tool to set some options. Make sure that we set this all the way to smooth, so as you draw, if it's really jagged, the fidelity will become smooth. It'll smooth it out for you. Make sure the path is still selected when you're done drawing it. We keep selected, and click OK. All right, come out here. You're going to see an asterisk next to the pointer. That means that you're about to draw a path. Make sure the fill color is none over here in the Properties panel. Strokes dark gray, and the weight is 3.23. There we go. Starting at the red dot, just come up around. I'm not going to be perfect with this. And once you come back to the beginning, you'll see a circle and let go, and it should close it for you automatically. Now, if you have an area like I don't love this part or I don't love this part, you can redraw it. So start on the path, drag, and redraw, reconnecting it to the path. And you can see it does it there. So I'll start here, come up, make the corner, come back, and I'm done. Yeah, it doesn't look great. Sometimes you got to know when to say when. That's the thing. See, like I didn't do that. I didn't put it on the path. So I'm going to edit undo. So on the path, come back, let go, and you can see what it does. Leave it alone, Brian. Okay, with it still selected, change the fill color to a red. We'll come over here to fill and change it to some kind of red. I'll do that. And we're good to go. Not only can you draw curves and freeform things with the pencil tool, but you can also draw straight lines. Come down here and we're going to draw this thing. It's going to be a log. So move the pointer over the red dot on the left side, right here. Press and drag up and around. And release the mouse button when you get to the blue dot. Okay, now the next part of the path needs to be straight. So move the pointer over the end of the path you just drew, And you should see a line. That means you're about to keep drawing. Press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows and drag from the blue dot to the orange dot. Now, when you get over there, release the key but not the mouse button. Continue drawing around. This is hard for me to see. Press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows. Draw a straight line, come back to the beginning, release the mouse, and then the key. I don't love how that looks, so I might try to redraw it. This is going to be horrible, but whatever, that's fine. And there's my log. All right, with the path still selected, change the fill color to a brown. I'll go with something like that. And select the selection tool and drag the fire up here down onto the log shape. And you'll see it's actually behind it. To bring it in front, click Arrange and choose Bring to Front. Drag across both shapes to select them. Copy them by choosing Edit Copy. To go to the next dartboard, click the Next Dartboard button down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste it right in here. So choose Edit, Paste, and drag the artwork right about there. And we're ready to go. We looked at joining things in a previous lesson. Now we're going to use the Join tool, and you'll see what that does. Select the Direct Selection tool, and click the yellow circle over here. And we want to zoom in, so choose View, Zoom In a few times. I'm going to use the keyboard command, Command plus or Control plus. All right, select the Scissors tool, which is grouped in the Eraser tool. We're going to cut this path to open it up. Move the pointer over the top blue anchor point. When you see Anchor, click. That just cuts it. Now select the Direct Selection tool again and drag the point up. You can see it's kind of like the right side here, so I'll go up a little bit. Same thing on the left. Drag this first point up over here, something like that. Now drag across both points. What we want to do is we want to make these straight. Right now, if we were to connect these, they would keep going and smash into each other like that. So if you come over here, we're going to convert these to corner points. So click the Convert to Corner Point right there. It straightens them out. Now what's going to happen is we're going to use a Join tool. It's going to continue these and extend them. And where they meet is where it's going to join it together. So we need to add the Join tool to the toolbar. So click Edit Toolbar. And you should see the Join tool right here. Drag it onto the pencil. We'll do it to the pencil tool. That's fine. And let go. You can then press Escape to hide the other tools. It's already selected. So what you want to do now is drag or scrub across the ends here. So drag across, let go, and you'll see what it does. Let's finish this quick camp logo here. So choose View, Fit Artboard and Window. Select the Selection tool and select that yellow shape. To bring the yellow shape on top of the other artwork, click Arrange and choose Bring to Front. That way we make sure it's on everything. Drag it onto the fire shape. I'll do it like that. Drag the camp text up. Something like that. And you'll probably need to arrange that too. So click the Arrange button and choose Bring to Front. And it should be on top of the fire. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. The last step is to add some arrowheads to paths, which is something that a lot of people want to be able to do. Let's switch artboards by coming down here and choosing 4 Logo 3. Click the curved pink path on the left to select it. Shift-click the curved pink path on the right. We're going to add some arrowheads to this. Click the word Stroke in the Properties panel. Change the stroke weight to 3 points to get them a little bit bigger. And if you look here, you're going to see we have an arrowhead on the right, which is kind of like the end, and this is the beginning, or start. So come to the end here, and we're going to choose Arrow 5, and you'll see what it does. Puts it on the end of the path. And we're going to change the scale. It's kind of big, so change that to 70%. Come over here, and we're going to start it with Arrow 17, so scroll down. There we go. Change the scale to 70 as well. There it is. A little smaller. Good. And if you want to experiment, go ahead. With the path selected, change the stroke color to white over here in the Properties panel. And we got it. Choose Select, Deselect. Save your file, and if you want to see everything, go to View, Fit Artboard in Window, or Fit All in Window, rather, and you can see all the different logos you worked on. So to start this lesson, make sure you've reset the preferences and started Illustrator. And we're going to open a file. So click Open here if you want to, or go to File, Open. In the Lessons, Lesson 7 folder, open the L7 Start file. Now there is an L7 End file. I'm not asking you to open that. Unless you really want to take a look at it, you can. Open up L7 Start. And there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Let me go to Properties here. We're going to save this so that you have, something to go back to if you want to try again. File, Save As, choose that. We want to save it locally. Unless you want to save it to Creative Cloud, go ahead. Save it on your computer. And let's call it Pen Drawings, or whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Pen Practice, or Pen Drawing, rather. Make sure it's in Illustrator file format, Save As type. Save it. I'm going to save it in the same lesson folder. Click OK. So we can see everything. Choose View, Fit All in Window. And you should be able to see everything now. And then reset your workspace. Choose Window, Workspace, Essentials, and then Reset Essentials. We're pretty much ready to go. This is a pretty short video because when we start with the pen tool, we want to set some things up, and that's all we're doing here. So choose one from down here in the Artboard navigation menu, if it's not already chosen. If the artboard doesn't fit in the window, choose View, Fit Artboard in Window, which I need to do. And then select the Zoom tool and click in the middle area called Work Area, just to zoom in a little bit, if you want to do that. All right, choose View, Smart Guides to turn them off. Make sure they're not on. They're not going to be helpful when you first start drawing with the pen tool. I guarantee it. We will see them on the next area over here when we start working. We're going to start by creating some straight lines with the pen tool to make a crown, or at least part of a crown. Select the pen tool in the toolbar on the left and welcome. Welcome to the pen tool. The pen tool is an animal. It can give you lots of power and lots of things to do, lots of adjustments and types of paths you can create, but it's going to take some time to understand it and to get used to it. It really is. It's going to take you some hours to kind of go through and practice. So we're going to start that. Before you start drawing with the pen tool, what you want to do is you want to set the fill and the stroke. Otherwise, as you draw, I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but as you draw with this thing, the fill is going to cover up stuff, and we don't want that. Okay, so let me delete this. So come over with the pen tool selected, come over to fill, and make sure there's no fill. Select none. Make sure the stroke is whatever you want. I can choose black. And the stroke weight is 4. Now, in previous editions of the book, I made it 1 point, and it was kind of a thin line. I'm realizing, why don't we just make it bigger so it's easier to see, Okay, move the pointer out here. You can see a little asterisk next to it. That's telling you that you're about to start drawing a path. We're going to draw some straight lines. So come over to Start here and click once. Move the pointer away, and you're going to see a blue line. That's your rubber band. That's telling you that if you were to click, that's where the line would go. Move the pointer over the gray dot 2 here and click, and you just set a path. Continue clicking 3 through 7. 1, 2. This is not rocket science, you guys, but you got to get used to it. And there we go. We just made a crown. It's not that hard, really. When you think about this, it's a straight path. Really pretty fun, actually. To stop drawing, there's a million ways to do this. Select the selection tool. And you now have your crown. With paths, if you want to continue drawing a path, you can do so pretty easily, and I want to show you that. With the selection tool selected, click the crown path you drew if it's not already selected. Click the fill color box, and what we're going to do over here is we're going to change the color. So let's pick some kind of like gold yellow. All right, click in an empty area to deselect. There you go. Select the direct selection tool and move the pointer over the path between 5 and 6, which is right here. You'll see the pointer change. Click to select just that line segment between those 2 points. Choose Edit Cut, and you'll see what happens. This was an open path. It wasn't closed down here at the bottom of the cram. So if you delete that, this is actually now 2 separate objects. One path here and one path here. Now if we want to continue drawing or draw it again, connect the 2 again, go to the pen tool. You can come to the end of one path, move your pointer over it, and you'll see this like slash. Click on that. Move the pointer over the anchor point labeled 6, and you'll see this weird thing next to it here. That means you're about to connect the 2 together. Click, and you connect them together. Choose Select, Deselect, and I've actually put another crown down here if you want to practice. Try down here. It's pretty easy, not too bad, but give it a whirl. Now you'll draw with smart guides turned on, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Come down here and choose 2 from the navigation menu, and we'll come to this house right here. Okay, select the zoom tool and click in the work area. I'll do it a couple times just so we have it zoomed in. And I'm using my scroll wheel on my mouse to kind of move up and down a little bit. Click the view menu and make sure that smart guides are turned on. So turn them on. All right, select the pen tool. Let's start up again here. We're going to come over here and make sure that the fill is none. Make sure that the stroke is black. And the stroke weight is 4 point. In the work area, click the orange point labeled 1 to set a point like we did before. Move the pointer over the point labeled 2, and you're going to now see this D right here, which is a distance. So you can see how far you're clicking or how far you are away from the original point. Click to set another anchor point. Move the pointer over point 3 to the left, and you'll actually feel it snapping, like it'll snap horizontal. Click to add another point. Click to set points 4 and point 5 over here. And now let's turn smart guides off. So choose View, Smart Guides to turn them off. And if we want to create a straight line from here to here, what you want to do is press the Shift key, and it will constrain the line to 45 degrees. Click with the Shift key held down. Click point 7 with the Shift key held down. Release the Shift key. And then move the pointer back over here. Point 1. When you see a circle next to the pointer, click. You'll close the path. Okay, there's another house down here if you want to scroll down, you want to practice on that. Try turning on the smart guides, turning off the smart guides, seeing what happens. Use the Shift key to create straight lines if you want to do that. Okay, now you're going to start drawing curves. You feel pretty good about drawing corners with the pen tool, I hope. Now you're going to start drawing curves. So let's go over to 3 down here. Let's go to the next artboard. And we're going to zoom in to the area labeled Exploration to start. So just click maybe once or twice. Select the pen tool, same thing. We're going to be doing the same thing the whole time here. Select the pen tool, make sure the fill is none, stroke is black, stroke weight is 4. Now, come over here. What I want you to do is click and release, kind of like we've been doing. Move the pointer away, and you'll see the rubber band, right? In this case, we're not going to just click and go on. We're going to drag. So press and drag, and you can control the curve. You are now working with what are called direction lines. These lines are kind of like little magnets. They magnetize to the path, and they curve them. Further away you drag, look what you get. Closer, look what you get. Flatten the curve, make the curve more peaked. Mess around a little bit. Once you get it somewhere, let go. Move over in an empty area here, and just try again. Press and drag. Notice what happens. It's kind of weird. So you can kind of curve it, do different things. just keep going. Try and explore a little bit and see what happens here. See what you can do. See what the path looks like. When you're finished exploring, you can press backspace or delete a bunch of times to get rid of this and try again. Or let's do this. Choose select, deselect, and we're going to now move into actually creating curves with the pen tool on something like an eraser. So we're going to move over here and do a little work. So press the space bar and drag to the left so you can see this work area. We're going to create this curve right here now. All right, move the pointer over the point labeled 1. Press and drag up to the red dot and then release the mouse button. What you're doing is you're not just clicking to start. You're actually creating these little direction handles to start so that it can curve right away. It actually has more curve to it. Come to point 2, press and drag down to the red dot, and release. And you can see you just made a nice, smooth curve. To stop drawing, select the selection tool, and click the artboard where there's nothing so you can deselect. If you want to practice, you can use the hand tool, press the space bar and move down, and practice by drawing these. Now notice where I'm telling you, we're starting in a different way here, so you're actually going to go this way now, which is a little different, or sideways. You know how to draw a single curve now. Next we're going to draw a series of curves. So come down here and go to 4, the artboard 4. You can see this little worm here. We're going to draw right down here. So select the zoom tool and click here in the work area a little bit so you can zoom in. Select the pen tool, same thing here. Fill of none on the right, stroke, 4 point, should be good. Now we're going to start drawing this path. Come to 1, drag up. We're going to draw up to the red dot. Now we're going to come over and we're going to draw the next point. Here's what I really want you to do. Okay, I know I have these big points, drag to this, move on. There's no brain involved here. You're just following orders, right? I mean, I would too, but do this. Come to the next point, press and drag, just start dragging. Don't pay attention to where the dot is, okay, if you can help it. Just do this for me, just mess around. I want your path back here, it's like up here. I want your path to follow the gray line. Where would you put your pointer for it to follow the gray line? The red dot's just a guide. That looks pretty good right there, not too bad. Let go. All right, let's go to point 3 and we're going to drag up, look back, see what it looks like. Not too bad. Down at point 4. There you go. Up at point 5. And finish dragging down at point 6. I'm looking, I don't care where the dot is. That's just a guide. I'm just looking back at the path to see if it follows here. Alright, select the direct selection tool. And you can click on any of the anchor points and see the direction handles, and you can go back and adjust them. You can see how it works here. Kind of move them, adjust them, etc. When you're finished, choose select, deselect, and save your file. Now, there is other practice down here. I'm just going to scroll down. If you want to try this out, you can. It's the same path as above, pretty much. It's just angled. So it's kind of throwing in a little bit of a curve there. If you've got a curve like this, it's not that bad once you understand how it works to continue drawing a curve. In other words, have it just curve and curve and curve. But what if you want to change path direction? In other words, you go to 2, but instead of having the path curve down this way, which is not bad, you want it to curve up. We can do a change in path direction. That's what we're going to do next. Choose 5 from down here, and you can see these waves. You can see it goes up, and then changes direction. Up, changes direction. We're going to come to the work area here and work in here. So select the zoom tool and click in there a few times so you can zoom in. Same thing, pen tool, no fill, stroke, 4 point. Okay. Now, we're going to come over here, and instead of just dragging, we're going to press the Shift key, which is going to make it perfectly straight. So Shift, drag down to the red dot, release the mouse, and then the Shift key. We still just created the direction line. We haven't created a path yet. Now, come to point 2, Shift drag up to the blue dot. Now, the blue dot's pretty big. I'm not telling you where to go. I'm just saying generally right here. Look at the path, see if it looks good. Release the mouse button, then the Shift key. Okay, when you make a path, you actually have 2 direction lines. You've got one here and one here to start. This is the leading, and this is the trailing. The trailing direction line controls the curve previous, and then the leading one will control the next part of the path. We're going to take this arm, this direction line rather, and we're going to point it down. Because right now, look what it's going to happen here. If we click, we want it to go down this way. So the direction line needs to actually point down that way. Press the Option key or Alt key. Move the pointer over the anchor at 2. And when you see your pointer look like that, press and drag from the anchor down. Let go of the mouse and then the key, and you just took that arm, or the direction line rather, and pointed it down. Now look what happens to the curve. It's because we're saying go down. Okay? Move the pen tool over point 3, drag up to the blue dot, release the mouse when the path looks pretty good, press the Option key or Alt key on Windows, come over the point, drag down to the red dot. Now for anchor 4, we're going to try something a little different. If you want, you can just watch me and then you try it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press and drag up, looking at the path down. Without releasing, press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows, and you can just split the handles, the direction lines. Go to the mouse and the key, and you've got it. Let me do it again. Press and drag, looking back, looks pretty good. Option or Alt, split the handles, let go, let go. Okay. Drag up, look at the path, looks good, I'm done. Press the Escape key to stop, or select the Selection tool if you want to. If you want to, you can go to the Direct Selection tool and refine the anchors by dragging the handles. If you look down here, you'll see there's another one. It's just flipped. You can try that if you want to practice. After having created paths that change direction, now you're going to combine curves and straight lines. So choose 6 from down here. And we're almost done. It's crazy. Select the Zoom tool and click in the work area here a couple times. I'll do it twice. Select the pen tool again. Once again, no fill, stroke, 4 point. And we're going to come down here and we're going to start on the left side. So we're going to start right here and drag to the red dot to start. That's going to set up our curve going this way. Notice that as you move the pen tool pointer, look what it does here. You can go straight, curve right, curve left, and you can see what the direction line, this guy right here, is actually doing to the path. See that? All right, press and drag from point 2, and I didn't give you where to go. I just said this direction. Look at the path, see what it looks like. That looks pretty good. Give it a little wiggle, go back and forth, see what you can do. It takes some time to get used to this. And let go. Now, if we were to come down here and continue drawing, look what would happen if we were to just click. We don't need this leading direction line. We got to get rid of it. So to do that, go over the anchor point here and click. And what that does is it actually removes the leading direction line. You move around, you can now see that there's nothing attracting the line, or the path rather, you're drawing, so it's going to be straight. Move your pointer over 3, press the Shift key, and click. Release the Shift key. Move the pointer over point 1. When you see a circle next to the pointer, click to close the path. There you go. Choose File, Save, and we're going to practice making the other sail next. Now we'll practice making the other sail over here. So if you don't see it, you can press the spacebar and get to the hand tool and move over. Come down here and click point 1. We're going to start right away. Make a straight line by pressing the Shift key. You can see it right there, and go to point 2 and click. Now, we don't want to make a straight line next. So what we need is a direction line coming out so they can curve the path. Move the pointer back over anchor 2 and you should see that little V, upside down V. Drag out toward the red dot. That's actually a direction line. So you just drag one out. Look what happens now. Yes, it's a little confusing. It's hard to tell what you're dragging. Are you making a path? Are you adding a direction line? But you kind of get used to it as you go. That's what practice is all about. Drag from point 3 to the red dot. Just make sure that the path looks good. There we go. Click the last anchor point to remove the direction line, and then click the first point again, and close it. Now, if you want to, you can go down here and try practicing. I give you some instruction on how to do it, so it might help you. Let's put your learning into practice. In other words, let's make something else. So we've gone through and created all kinds of different scenarios and curves and straight lines. Let's use a pen tool to create something now. Come down to the bottom and go to 7 Artboard 7. I know it's kind of weird. Once again, pen tool, select the pen tool if it's not already. No fill, black, stroke, 4 point. But this time, what I want you to do is make sure that the stroke color is blue. So I'm going to choose maybe that. And then the size is 6, so we actually go a little bigger. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with A. So click to set a point. Shift click to go to B. The next path needs to be a curve, not a straight line, so we need a direction line. So go back over B, drag to the red dot to make a direction line. Click point C up here. You see it makes a nice curve. Click point D to make a straight line. Now the next part needs to be curved, so we need a direction line. So come back over D. You should see that little upside down V. Drag over to the reddish dot there. That's going to create a direction line. Drag from point E to make a curve, paying attention to the actual curve itself. There we go. Click points F and G to make straight lines. F and G. Now you can edit any part of the path that you've already drawn as you're drawing it, which is kind of cool. If you move your pointer over the path between F and G, you can add a point. But what I want you to do is press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows, and you'll see this arrow with a curved part next to it. Drag to the left a little bit to curve the line. Let go of the mouse and the key, and you can see what you did. Now you're still drawing. Notice this, we still have the rubber band. All right, with the pen tool, come over H, and what we need to do is we're going to create a straight line, but we need a direction line after. So click and drag, press the Shift key to go straight across. Right about there, let go of the mouse and the key, and we've set up a curve. Next, over to I, and drag down. All we're doing is looking at the path behind. Press the Shift key to make sure that it stays straight, like that. Release the mouse, and then the key. All right, for the next 3 points, you're going to split the direction handles. You can use whatever method you want. I showed you a few. Move the pen tool pointer over J. Drag. Look at the path. Make sure it looks good. Press the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows and go to the next point here. Mouse. Key. Same thing down here. Drag. Make sure it looks good. Option or Alt. Go to the reddish dot. Make sure it looks good. Option or Alt, reddish dot, mouse, and then key. You kind of get used to that after a while. All right, for point M, press the Shift key and drag to the left so you can get it straight. That looks pretty good. Release the mouse and then the key. Move the pointer over A. Once you see the O or the 0, click to close the path, and you've got it. In the Properties panel, click the Fill color and make sure that you select white. That way it actually covers up whatever's inside of it. That's cool. And then to stop drawing, Command click or Control click away from the object, release the key, and then save the file. Now you'll edit some of the paths and points for the art you just created. So select the Direct Selection tool over here. And the Direct Selection tool is great once you have a path out here that you can start to work with. Click the anchor point labeled G right here to select it, and you should see the handle for it. We just want to move the anchor point. So shift drag the anchor point over, and what's going to happen here is usually I start dragging and then press the shift key and drag it over just a little bit. There we go. Release the mouse and then the key. Move the pointer over the point or part between E and F, and this is kind of cool about the direct selection tool. If it has direction lines, rather, it'll automatically show this. That means that you can just drag to increase or change the curvature. So you can kind of drag it out a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy here. Now F looks a little more like a corner here, kind of like a V-shaped path rather than a smooth path going through it. To smooth it out, click the F point and drag one of the direction lines to make the path appear smoother. So I'm going to kind of connect these, like make them, and this is a thing that's going to happen a lot. You're going to miss the direction handle. So something more like that. There we go. All right, choose select, deselect, and save your file. Now we're going to talk about how to delete and add anchor points. Go ahead and open the Layers panel over here on the right. Window Layers up in the menus if you don't see it. In the Layers panel, click the eye icon for the layer named Template Content to hide it. You can just now see the path. Forgot to deselect there. Okay. With the direct selection tool, click in the blue hand to select it. Okay, now it's going to be hard to see the anchor points and everything because the hand is blue, the line is blue, and the anchors are blue. So come to the thumbnail to the left of the practice layer, double click on it, choose light red from the color here, and then click OK. You'll see that you actually can hopefully now see the anchor points. You can also, if you go into the preferences for Illustrator, you can make these bigger if you want to. There are preferences to set. Okay, select the pen tool, come out here, and what we want to do is we want to come right over here, and we don't really need this anchor point. It's an extra anchor point. So if you come over it, you're going to see a minus sign. Click to remove the anchor. Now you reshape the path a little. So with the pen tool selected, press Command on Mac or Control on Windows, and this selects the direct selection tool temporarily. Begin dragging this direction line to the right. You can see it, just like that. As you drag, press the Shift key as well to keep it straight. But it looks pretty good. Release the mouse button and the keys. Okay, that's reshaped. Good. Now move your pointer over here, and what we want to do is we want to add another anchor down here. So when a plus sign appears, you can see it there, click to add a new point. Press Command or Control to temporarily select the direct selection tool, and then drag it down a little bit to reshape. Let go of the mouse, then the key. If you have smooth points or corner points, sometimes you want to convert between them. So in other words, you want to go from a corner to a smooth path, right? Well, let's do that. Select the direct selection tool and click in the rectangle to the left of the hand. You can see the anchors now. Select the upper left anchor point right here. In the Properties panel, click the Convert Selected, I'm going to go back to Properties, Convert Selected Anchor to Smooth. You can see right there. That's going to round the corner. All right. Do the same thing here. Click the lower left. You could have selected both at once, but smooth it. There you go. Now, move the pointer over the path. When it looks like this, what I want you to do is start dragging and press the Shift key to constrain it. Then move to the right, let go of the mouse and the key, and you've got it. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. There's one last thing I want to show you, and it concerns what's called the anchor point tool. With the direct selection tool still selected, select the point right here. Right there, you see the anchor point. Now you can see a single direction line on that point. Come over to the pen tool, press and hold, and you'll see the anchor point tool. Now move the pointer over the path here, over the anchor point rather, and it should still look like this. It shouldn't look like that. It should look like this, like an upside down V. click to remove the direction line. That basically converts it to a corner point. Now come over here, and what I want you to do is click the point to remove the direction lines. You can see it's actually now a corner point. Then drag from the same point, and you can just add them back in. So you can kind of drag and do what you want here. I'll exaggerate it a little bit. There we go. And that's it. You guys, you can go and explore, and this one is literally meant to, if you have a corner or a smooth, whatever, if you click, it's going to remove the handles. If you drag, it's going to add the handles. That's the whole idea. Good job. Keep practicing. Save this file again. Go and do it again. Keep trying. Keep drawing different things. Find stuff out there to draw. Try it anyway. Last thing to do here is to fit in window. So choose View, Fit All in Window, so you can see everything you've done. Save your file, and you can close it. Okay, let's start the lesson. Make sure you've reset the preferences and started Illustrator. And let's go open a file. I'll click on Open. Open up the L8End1 file in the Lessons Lesson 8 folder. And this is a final version of the artwork. You can choose View, Fit All in Window if you want to see it all. Make sure the properties is showing here. All right, now let's open up the start file. So we have two. We're going to open up the first one. So open File, Open. L8start1.ai. And if you do see the missing font dialog box, go ahead and activate. I currently do not. Once you do that, click Skip in the next dialog box. To see everything, choose View, Fit All in Window. And we're going to save this now. So choose File, Save As. Save it on your computer. And let's call this Snow Border. Make sure it's Illustrator as the format. Save as, type, and format. Or format, rather. Click Save. Click OK. And we're going to reset the workspace. So choose Window, Workspace. Make sure Essentials is chosen, and then Reset Essentials. We'll begin by applying an existing color to some artwork. So with the document open, choose one badge from down here, and that should take you to this artboard right here. And if it doesn't fit in, choose View, Fit Artboard and Window. With the selection tool selected, click the red snowboard shape to select it. We're going to change color. Now in Illustrator we have Fill and Stroke. Fill is the inside, Stroke is the border, if you will. Click the Fill color box here, and we can either see swatches, which are saved colors that we can work with, or we can go to the color mixer and mix our own color. Make sure swatches are showing, and we're going to apply a pink color to the shape. All right, press the Escape key to hide the swatches panel. And next, we're going to create a custom color. All right, let's create a custom color. There are a lot of ways to make color in Illustrator. Go ahead and click the green stripe on the snowboard here. And then come over here and click the Fill box. And we're going to choose this time the color mixer. This allows you to mix your own color with using different kinds of colors. At the bottom of the panel, you're going to see that we've got this color spectrum. Click over kind of like near the orange part. You can see that it samples a color and applies it to the fill of the object right there. Now, if you know the kind of color you need, CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, black, or RGB, and you know those color values, you can actually type them in here. I happen to know some. So let's make cyan 0, magenta 20. I'm going to tab to the next field. Yellow 65, and then black, we'll just leave a 0, make 0. Press Enter Return after the last color value, and it should close the panel. There's actually a little bug right now, which is not allowing that to happen. It's supposed to be fixed coming up here, so go ahead and click away, and it should apply the color to the part of the snowboard. Okay, we've got a custom color created. Now let's save a color as a swatch so we can use it again. With that shape still selected, click the Fill box here. and then click the swatches button up here. If you want to save your own color, you'll save it as a swatch. So to do that, come down to the bottom and click New Swatch. That will open up a dialog box. And in here, you can do some different things. We can name it first. Let's call it light orange. And you'll see something called global right here. That means that if you save this color and it's saved over here, if you apply it to a bunch of different objects, if you edit the color, it'll edit automatically everywhere or change everywhere. All right, click OK to save the color. And you should now see it in the swatches panel. You can see it right there. And it's got a little white triangle in the corner there, which is telling you it's a global color. When you make a swatch or save a color, you can also create copies of swatches just so you can make a little different version of a color, for instance. With that shape still selected, and the swatches panel still showing, I'm going to go click on it again, the fill color. Click the new swatch button down here at the bottom. This creates a copy of the orange color, the light orange color. Call it orange, not light, just orange. And change the color values to 0 for cyan, 45 for magenta, 90 for yellow, and 0 for black. And it's definitely more orange now. All right, click OK. Now click to apply the light orange back to that shape again. You'll notice that it had the orange applied because we just made it. All right, click the word north right here, and then shift click the word cascades. Click the fill box, and we're going to apply that orange color to it. So click on orange, and you should see it applied to the fill. Press the escape key to hide the swatches, and then deselect by choosing select, deselect. When you made that swatch, the first swatch there, the light orange one, I told you it was a global swatch, and I kind of explained what it was. Now let's go through and edit one so you can see the power of these. Click the yellow shape behind the clouds here, and click the fill box. Then click the swatch named light orange. You can see that we now have it applied here and to the stripe on the snowboard. Come to that light orange swatch and double click on it. Any swatch you have, you can double click to edit the color. Come in here to the swatch options dialog box, select preview so you can see the change, and change the cyan value to around 80 or something like that. Now look what's going on here. You can see that the sky has changed. It's selected, that's fine, but look at the board. That's changed as well. Anywhere this color is used is going to change. Change the cyan value back to 3. I'll go to all the way down. I could have typed it in, yes. Click OK, and you can see the change take place. Now let's edit a non-global swatch and see what that does. With the selection tool selected, click to select the pink snowboard you had first. Click the fill box, and you'll see that the pink swatch is applied. You can see it right there. All right, now press the escape key to hide the swatches panel. Click the small blue shape on either side of the text here to select them. Click the fill box, and then click that same pink shape to apply it. All right, press the escape key, deselect by choosing select, deselect. And what I want you to do is open the swatches panel. Go up to window and choose swatches. Yes, it's the same as what you saw over here in fill, but now you don't have to have anything selected and you can do stuff to your color. I'm going to drag the bottom down. Double click the same pink swatch so you can edit it. Change the name to Snowboard Pink. And we'll do some values here, some different values here. 0, 76, 49, and 0. And you can see it's kind of a salmon-y color now almost. Make sure that it's global. Turn that on, and we're changing it. And select preview. And you can see that nothing changes out here. That's because that color was originally not a global color. Click OK. Close the swatches panel. Click the pink snowboard shape again. And then shift click the two pink shapes over here. Click the fill box. And notice that the color is no longer applied. That's because we changed it to a global color. Click it to apply it. And now, if you were to edit that color, it would change everywhere. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. So far, we've seen a few ways to make color, but we can also use what's called a color picker to make color. Choose To Snowboarder from down here, and click the green jacket shape here. If we want to change the color, we can come over here to the fill and double click. That's going to open up the color picker. Now in the color picker, you can choose any color you want for that matter. You can drag up and down in the spectrum bar here, and once you do that, maybe like land in the purplish area. Drag in the field out here to figure out what color you want to grab. Or you can enter values. Like I've already got values here, so enter 50, I press tab, 90, tab, 5, and 0. So different ways to make color. Click OK, and you should see that a color applied. Now, this is not a swatch. This is just a color you made. It's just a random color hanging out, and it's not saved, so you can't reuse it unless you like sample it. To save that color, click the fill box in the properties panel to show the swatches. Click the new swatch button at the bottom, and change the name to purple. Make sure global selected, and click OK. All right, you should see the color now in here. It's a global color called purple. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. In Illustrator, there are a bunch of default saved libraries that you can pull colors from, and we're going to use those. Choose Window, Swatch Libraries all the way down here, Neutral. Find it, there it is right there. A lot of them in here. This is going to open up a little panel that you can then grab color from. Click the dark gray shape here covering the mouth. In the Neutral panel, find a lighter beige color. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And maybe, let's see. Yeah, let's try that one. So click on that one to apply it. You can close the Neutral panel. Click the fill box over here in the properties panel. And to save the color, we want to click on New Swatch. Now these are not saved automatically. These are just colors you're pulling from the library. Name it beige. Oops, beige. Make sure it's global and click OK. All right, you should now see the color over there in the panel. And what I want you to do again is choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. There might be times where you want to take a color and save a lighter version of it. Well, that's called a tint, and we're going to do that now. Click one of the light gray shapes above or below, and you should be able to select both because they're grouped. Click the fill box. And we want to select that beige color we just assigned to the middle shape. Click the color mixer button up here. And if you remember, when we did this before, we mixed a color or sampled a color as well to make a new color. But if you notice now, it actually has a T here, which stands for tint. So if you create a swatch, you can make a tint of it, a lighter version. Change the value to 60%. And this is like it's like almost like adding white to a color. All right, now click the swatches button up here. What we want to do is we want to save that. So click the new swatch button. It'll save it, and if you move your pointer over it, it'll say beige 60%. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. You might have a shape and want to apply a color that you see somewhere. You can do that using the eyedropper tool, and I'll show you that now. Choose View, Fit All in Window, so you can see all three artboards. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the gray shapes over here by shift-clicking. They're separate right now. we're going to sample color from over here. So select the eyedropper tool and click on the shapes on the snowboarder's face right here, which have the tint applied, and you can see that they're applied over here now. And that's pretty much it. It just picks up all the appearance properties and applies them to whatever's selected. Select the selection tool, choose Select Deselect, and save your file. Now we're going to create a color group, and you'll see what I mean by that. It's a bunch of colors you can group in a folder. Choose Window Swatches to open the panel, and you can drag the bottom down if you need to make it a little bigger. Click the swatch named Light Orange right here, and then shift-click the Beige 60 swatch to select all of them. Click the new color group down here, and what that's going to do is put them in a folder. Call it Snowboarding, and click OK. And what I want you to do here is just click in a blank area of the panel, and you can now see the folder, the name, and the swatches that are part of it. This is a great way to associate colors together, like for logos or icons or branding or whatever you're doing. Okay, now if you want to add other colors to it, you can just drag them in or drag them out. Come to the Beige 60 color, and what I want to do is just drag it out. So we're going to drag it out over here. You could put it in the other folder or put it in the last list here, whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter, but they're there. Sometimes you have color and you want to find colors that are similar, or get some color inspiration. Well, we can use the color guide panel for that. Choose 3 Snowboarder Color Guide from down here, and then with the selection tool selected, click, I think it's the green shape on either side, and it should select both of these because they're grouped together. Alright, make sure the fill box is selected near the bottom of the toolbar down here, and then choose Window, Color Guide. Now move it down. In the Color Guide panel, what you want to do is this is the color, the fill color of the selected object. What you want to do is if you click on that, it's going to set that as the base color, the color that all other colors are based on. You can see them all here. Now you can choose what other kind of colors you want here using what are called harmony rules. Choose right complement for this, and you can see a bunch of right complement colors to that original base color. All right, now to save these colors here in the swatches panel, click Save Color Group to Swatch Panel. Choose Select Deselect, and you should see it now here in the swatches panel. All right, go ahead and close the swatches panel group. We don't need it open anymore. The next thing we're going to do is apply color from this panel. Not only can you make colors with the color guide panel and save them, but you can also apply them from here. Click the purple jacket shape and come into the color guide panel, and what I want to do is apply a green color from that panel. So this is actually a color row. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click there to apply, or whatever color you want. It doesn't really matter. And then click the center rectangle here, and we're going to apply another color. So come like right here and apply a color. Now after you select a color, you can see it there and there, it actually becomes the base color over here. If you were to click here, it would actually make all the other colors based on that color now, not the original color you had. I'm just throwing that out there. You don't need to do that. Go ahead and close the color guide panel group and save your file. We'll use recolor artwork so we can edit colors in artwork, and I want to show you what it does. It's pretty amazing. So we're going to kind of set things up first. Go ahead and choose File Open. We're going to open up another file. Open up the L8 Start 2 file right here. Click Open. And we're going to save this. So choose File, Save As. Save it on your computer, not to the cloud. Call it Snowboards, not Snowboarder. Save it. Click OK. I'm going kind of fast here, I know. And now we're going to get started by going in and changing some things up here. Come down here and choose one Snowboard Recolor so you can set up where you're going to go in and edit. Let's go through recoloring artwork. This is actually pretty fun. Now the snowboard on the left is a bunch of objects. I want you to drag across to select it all. And we want to change the color of this. Normally, it might be kind of hard because you've got 3, 4, whatever colors going on. And to edit them independently can be a pain in the butt. So come over here and click the Recolor button. And you'll see a dialog open here that has a big color wheel on it. And all of the colors, these circles, are the colors represented in the artwork you've selected. So there's the orange right there. You can see the orange. There's that salmon-y color, maybe like right there, that kind of thing. What you can do is you can go in and change these colors. All right, make sure that this is disabled. That means that you can move these independently. Drag the largest orange color marker down over here in the green, and look what it does. It takes everywhere that orange was used and changes it to that green right there. That's what the color wheel represents, where the color is and what it is. Now, if you make a mistake, you can either undo what you just did and then do it again. So like undo, do it again, whatever you want. Now notice what happened here. I didn't link it. Undo, unlink. It undid that too, which is kind of crazy. There we go. You can also reset completely to the original. All right, now double click that green marker right here. And you can also use the color picker to edit the color instead of dragging it around. Now I'm going to change the color to a blue, and I'm going to be like 621100. If you want to do the same, you can. And I'll click OK. All right, you'll notice that the circle moved, it went into the bluish area, and it's now blue wherever that color was used. Now there are a lot of ways to change the color, like go into a library or choose colors, etc., but we can also sample color. You're going to see the color theme picker here. Click that, well, I'm going to move this out of the way first. Click that button, and what you can do now is go out and sample from an image. So click on, let's say, like this image here. It's going to take the most widely used colors from this image and apply them out here based on tints and shades and different things like that. Now you can also come over here to vector artwork and click to sample and apply color like you just see right there. You can also say, you know what, I only want a certain part of the color here, so I'm going to click and drag and sample that color, and that's all it's going to grab and apply over here. Okay, once again, click the dinosaur so we have that applied. Now come down here and we can actually do things like this. You can show saturation on the color wheel and do different things. You can see it right there. You can adjust the saturation if you drag to the right to make it a little more saturated maybe. So I'll drag over. There you go. Now down here you're going to see what are called prominent colors. These are the colors that are more prominent in the document. I'm not sure why I see this kind of color, but what I want you to do is come in between two colors like green and blue and drag to the right, and you can see it's going to do less green, more blue, more green, less blue. You can kind of see that. Now to save the colors, come down here and click on the folder and choose Save Prominent Colors. Those are these colors here. It's going to save them as a group of swatches right here. All right, that's pretty much it. Choose Select, Deselect to stop editing and save your file. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into Live Paint. Now we're going to explore how to paint and work with live paint groups. Choose 2 Snowboard Live Paint down here. You're going to work on the snowboard on the left to make it look like the one on the right. Let me move this out of the way. Click one of the 2 dark diamonds over here with the selection tool, and then shift click the other one. What we're going to do is we're going to copy them and kind of put them down here. Select the rotate tool and option click the bottom of the shapes right here. Change the angle to 180 and we're going to copy it. So click copy and you've got yourself another set. Alright, select the selection tool. You drag across all of the snowboard artwork here. You can see it's all separate objects for the most part. To make it a live paint object, choose Object, Live Paint, Make. Now this is one way to do it. There are several ways. You can tell it's a live paint object several ways. Look at these little weird bounding points. And also, look at the words live paint up here. You can see it's a live paint object. It's treated like a group now, so it's like a single object. Now that you have something as a live paint object, you want to use what's called the live paint bucket tool to actually do this. Let me show you what this does. We don't see it over here to start, so we need to add it. Click Edit Toolbar, and you should somewhere see the live paint bucket tool. It should be hanging out here somewhere. There it is right there. Drag it between a couple items here. I'll go like right there and let go. You can press the escape to hide the rest of these tools, and you've got it selected. All right. Make sure that the swatches panel is open here. And what I want you to do in the swatches panel is select the light green swatch here. Now, if you move the pointer into the artboard, you're going to see the colors around. See the colors above it? Like right up here. I'm pointing at nothing. Anyway, those are the three swatches that are in their group, their color group. So you've got that light green, kind of the red to the left, and then the orange right there. See? There's the reddish, light green, and then kind of the orange color. What I want you to do is come over here, and you can use this to paint different areas, even though this is just a bunch of shapes on top of each other. Click to apply this area right here, and then click to apply it to this area here. Now, press the right arrow key once. That'll actually go to the orange color. And if you notice in the swatches panel, it's now selected. See that right there? All right, press the right arrow key once more to select the lighter orange color, and then click to apply it here, and then down here. And you can see it's pretty much the same as the other board over here now. All right, you can close the swatches panel, choose Select Deselect, and then save your file. One last thing to do here. We've made a live paint object and then we painted it. Now let's show you the other power of live paint groups. Select the selection tool and double click the snowboard on the left here to enter isolation mode. Whoops, too far. Double click. Okay. You're going to see that a live paint group is similar to a group. You can now click on the separate objects and see different things. You can see like there, etc. Select the direct selection tool and move the pointer between the path here and the path here. Click the path, and when the pointer changes, drag straight down and snap. Watch what happens when you let go. It's actually going to change the color here, matching. This is pretty cool. This is what live paint's all about. It looks at boundaries or borders here and just floods the color up to that point. Press the escape key to exit isolation mode unless you want to try adjusting some more. Choose Select Deselect. Choose View, Fit Artboard, and Window if you need. Save your files and close all of them.